Greg Miller is not standing on a box. He's that tall.
Sorry.
Or I'm that short.
It's my genes, Vic. I don't mean to do it.
It's the. Did you play basketball? Were you a Hoosier?
No.
Yeah.
I tried, and it's just, the breathing and the running didn't work for me. And I was like, I'm gonna go play video games. Bye.
Video games work for you, though.
Yeah.
How are things going with you and your? I know that your love life is good.
Yeah.
Your wife is right over there.
Right over there.
She's beautiful.
A Canadian.
Hello.
I stole her from the Canadians.
Good,
I'm sorry.
Good job. Good job. I know your love life is good.
Yeah.
How's work life? How's everything else going for you right now?
Dude, work life's awesome. I mean, you've been following Kind of Funny since we started, and you came and did the studio when we first got the studio.
Yes.
You need to come back because now we're 7 people strong. We have these full-time employees, so it's not just the 3 or 4 founders anymore. It is like, wow, we're a real business and we're doing really cool stuff. And we brought in this guy Andy Cortez, who's editing these awesome Let's Plays people have always wanted from us. It's called Party Mode. It's us actually playing games and having fun. We brought in our own community manager so we can have someone there to talk to our community because we're getting too big. Like, we have all these problems that are great problems to have.
Great problems.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, and is it still, the core sort of concept and the core vibe of Kind of Funny that you started with?
Yeah, it totally is. It's us, wanting to make content for our best friends. Those are our viewers. Those are our fans. And so every day we go in there and we do, 2 live shows at least. Then we live stream a podcast usually in the afternoon. We package all this content, put it on YouTube and podcast service for everybody else. But yeah, it's, hey, we want to be your best friend on that couch having a conversation with you, whether it's about video games, whether it's about our Cheetos chips. Yeah. Cheetos are not chips. I don't care what anybody else at Kind of Funny says. It's just us horsing around with our friends. And people are flocking that message still, and it's great.
Awesome. Now, you're working with Andrea and with
Danny O'Dwyer.
Yeah, I've never met Danny.
Really?
Yeah, I've never met him.
Oh, we got to set that up at PAX, man. You guys are going to get along so well. No, that was one of the amazing things, right? To see my company go from a spare bedroom of 4 people to now being 7 full-time employees, and then being able to reach out to Danny O'Dwyer, who does No Clip, and bring him in, and reach out to Andrea Renee, who does a million things, but now What's Good Games. Bring her in and both have them on Games Daily, which is our premier news show, right, for video games, where it's every day we run through the top stories of video games, talk about it, give you perspective, answer questions. But that was a huge moment for me to be like, hey, I respect you so much, and we're your friends, obviously, but I've known about both of them for years. Yeah. To be able to bring them in and say, hey, co-host this show with me and be a partner in this is amazing.
That is fantastic. Now, I know people are going to be commenting below this video.
Like, subscribe, share.
Asking what happened with Colin.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about what went on with Colin?
Oh, sure. I mean, I think people saw it, and we've done multiple podcasts about it. Yes. There's a Game Over Greggy show all about it. Yeah. It was that we were growing in different directions, and that sucks on one hand, but it's good on the other. I always talk about it, right? It was an adult breakup, and it was an adult breakup where you're both like, as a company and what Colin wants to do, where it's like, we're not right for each other anymore, and that's okay. Yeah. And if we could have toughed it out, and it would have been a bitter divorce in a few years, right? And that's how it's got to be. And you see him right now being so successful with Colin's Last Stand, making this content about history, about politics, about what he wants to do. And then you see Kind of Funny flourishing in the same respect of, hey, we're talking about video games and talking about what we love and what we want to talk about.
Awesome. So it's kind of like an adult sort of wave across the aisle kind of thing. Everything is groovy.
Yeah, 100%. I wish him all the success in the world, and he's found it, so it's great.
That is very cool. How are Nick and Tim doing? Everybody's good over there?
I mean, Nick's Nick. Yeah. He's always one screw from falling out and going crazy, but Tim's doing real well. No, we're both doing great. Everybody's doing fine. We're wrapping up the animated series right now. That's pretty exciting. Yeah. We're about to launch Cooking with Greggy, which is my cooking show. We're doing all these different projects again, where we're doing seasonal content, 2 months of, hey, it was Kind of Funny Doodles, which are podcast segments that are then animated. Then it's going to be Cooking with Greggy, and it's going to be another new show of, hey, this is something we want to do, but we know we can't do indefinite, like the Game Over Greggy show. There has to be an end to it right now.
Yeah. Are you going to be doing more animated stuff, or are you done with that for a while?
I think we're going to be done with the animated series for a while. I mean, never say never, but we learned a lot, right? You figure when we launched that was in, 2016, and we thought we were going to have 12 episodes in that year and be done with it. Yeah. But turns out animation's really hard and expensive, and we fell behind on that, so we wanted to make goods, and I think we've learned so much on how to produce scripted animated content that if we were to do it again, it would probably be, hey, we need your help making this show, and by the way, it's done. Here's the schedule for how we'll put it out. So we're gonna go quiet on that front for a while, probably.
Well, you're reaching beyond, I think, dreams and business plans that you had right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. All I wanted to do was talk about games at the beginning.
So what happens now? What do you want to do? Just sort of finesse and get better with everything that you're doing? Yeah. Make some new shows and have fun with those?
I think that's the big thing right now. We have such a great team right now of core 7 people, where we do feel like we have all the holes plugged that we want, and so now it is, how do we make every day as great as possible? How do we make as many great shows as possible? What are the limits and limitations we have, and how do we make new things, and how do we find room for Andy to grow, and Joey to grow, and Kevin, and Cool Greg, and all these different people to make the content they want and be a part of this as much as we all are.
Awesome. I know you have a very special panel here at PAX tomorrow talking about something very serious in your world, but beautiful things came out of that
100%.
stuff, right?
No,
Tell the people what you're talking about.
So tomorrow I'm doing a panel. It's my 5-year anniversary of being diagnosed with cancer, and it's special to me, and the whole reason the panel's happening at PAX is because PAX is my favorite show of the year. And 5 years ago, whenever I started going to PAX, 5 years ago was the first PAX I ever had to miss. And when IGN came back, the people who did go, they came back with these giant postcards they had printed without telling me and had everybody sign at the meet and greet.
Oh, wow.
And that devastated me and brought me to tears, right?
Wow.
So I feel like I've told my story in parts in different places and all this different stuff, but this is my chance, 5 years later, to come here with all the people who signed that card and people who didn't even know. That's always the funny thing. When I mention it now in a show, somebody's like, "You had cancer? I didn't even know." Bring all these people together and tell them how they got me through it. Because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be able to have done it, how hard that situation was.
Yeah, and I guess you must have a lot of best friends, kind of funny best friends here, right?
Oh yeah, no, PAX is definitely packed with kind of funny best friends. We walk over there, I see our shirts everywhere, people stop, they want to see the photo, they just want to say hi, and that's what's so great about it.
That's amazing. And would you say that a lot of that support that you had during that really, tough time in your world, in your life, was kind of what led you to chase the dreams that you've been able to chase?
100%. I mean, that's what I always say, right? Like, I'm going to talk about the panel, so don't ruin this. Don't ruin this.
I'm anticipating. I'm sorry. It's what I do.
Is one of the things of, you're on the internet. I'm on the internet. You're on the internet. A lot of people are mean on the internet. And you can say whatever you want about me, my teeth, my body. I don't care. None of that cuts me, right? What always hurts me is when somebody says, "Oh, he calls his fans best friends," and I don't like that. That's he's asking for their money and doing. I mean, yeah, we're a business and we need money, but the cancer thing is what solidified that I have best friends and that this is what our relationship is. And the fact that if some people will write to me that they've been diagnosed, that someone in their life's been diagnosed, that they have questions and I answer them, or I help you get through this, or I do, even just my stories, people have said have gotten me through this. And I'm like, that's what this is. That's what's real to me, and that's what it's all about.
Amazing, dude. Always great to see you.
Always a pleasure seeing you.
I'm bummed I'm not going to be there tomorrow because we fly out today. Sorry, pal. But I got a taste, so I know what you're going to go through.
It'll be up on youtube.com/kindafunny. You can come watch it there.
There you go. Well, it's great to see you, brother.
Pleasure.
Continued success. Love you too, man.